Go.
All right, so we're here at a sea turtle nest excavation, and these are pretty routine for us, especially this time of year as nests start to hatch. So this nest did hatch. It's a loggerhead sea turtle nest. We're gonna clear all the sand out of the way and dig up all of the contents. And we do this so we can get an idea of the reproductive success. So we can see how big the clutch is, like how many eggs are in the nest, and how many hatched, how many didn't hatch, to give us a better idea how productive our nests are. I'll smooth all the sand away first.
Hey guys, we're live. Excavate a loggerhead with Shelby. So stay tuned.
Alright, so once I dig down, I can feel an egg right there. So I'm at the top of the clutch. So we'll stop and I'll measure from the top of the clutch. You can see kind of one egg there to the top of the sand.
So this is essentially the measurement of how far the turtle dug the nest. So the mother came, dug a hole, started stacking her eggs in there, and that's the top of the stack.
Yes. So now once I've taken that measurement, we'll pull everything out, and I'll just put it in a pile to the side. Once we're done pulling everything out, then we'll inventory and count everything in the nest. And this was a pretty good emergence, so lots of hatched eggs I'm pulling out right now.
So usually if there's a straggler, they'll a lot of times be kind of more on the top if they haven't made it out, or if there's any live turtles in the nest. And it looks like most of them, like she said, hatched out. You can see all the eggs that were open.
A really good emergence.
Which means most of the turtles made it out to sea.
Right, and that's it. So now in this egg cavity, it's completely empty. There's no more eggs down there, so I'll measure from the bottom of the egg chamber to the top of the sand. So that gives us an idea of how deep the full nest area is. Alright, so I'll just double check the hole, make sure everything's out. That's everything. Now we'll sort and count. So here we have a unhatched egg. So this one did not hatch for whatever reason. It's fully intact, whole unhatched eggs. We'll set that on it in its own area. And then all of these are hatched eggshells. So they're kind of broken open. The turtle will use their egg tooth kind of on their beak to break through the shell and create that opening, and then they'll continue to push their way through the egg shell, kind of tearing it a little bit at the top. So I'm going to put these all in groups of 10.
And this way is very typical on how sea turtle monitors, researchers, scientists count eggs all around the world. So they count in tens, they put them and they categorize them by just the categories of the nest. That way they can write down all the information. You can see this is some of her data that we'll be making. Use a GPS to locate the nest. She's counting them now. You can see the groups of 10.
And anything that's like less than 50% of the eggshell, like these little pieces, we don't count those. We'll just throw them back in the nest. And then once we're done, everything that we pull out, we put straight back into the nest and just let everything naturally decompose and nature take its course. Another unhatched.
So if you're curious, some people are asking what's on the sign. This is a stake and some of the data and information when you come up to a sea turtle nest.
This is an unhatched egg that's been kind of broken apart, and I can tell it's unhatched because inside it's pretty gross. There's still some goo, part of the yolk and everything that started to kind of decompose, and so not an hatched egg, but unhatched, damaged. Emergence.
Yeah.
Really good.
This is a very good emergence.
Yeah.
This is not as common.
No.
Usually there'll be more of these guys right here. And or potentially a deceased turtle as well. This is a very good example.
Yeah. And this is one of our first loggerhead nests that was laid this season. So or one of our first loggerhead excavations as well.
So normally this time of year in South Florida, the first turtles that start laying their eggs are leatherbacks, and then come loggerhead sea turtles, and they will be in abundance.
Yes.
Start laying everywhere. There's not as many leatherbacks. So this is one of the first loggerheads, and then the greens will start nesting as well. You can see those little clutches, so she knows how many are in each. So this is one nest. Do you know how many days oh, she's counting.
Okay, done counting.
So how many days?
Did this incubate for?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know the exact day count, but typically the nest will incubate for about 55 days, depending on the temperature. So since this nest was laid mid-April, sometimes it can take a little bit longer to incubate. Those early nests, when it's still cooler out, usually take a little bit longer. So maybe closer to 65 days, but typical about 2 to 3 months, depending on how hot or cold it is.
So this time of year, it's not super hot yet, and that'll fluctuate the incubation time.
Yeah.
As well as some of you may know, it'll also fluctuate on the sex of the turtle inside the nest.
Right.
So the earlier season nests will most likely have a better outcome because there'll be more males and females. These days, our later season nests, there's a better chance because they get so hot towards the end of the summer that there'll be more females.
All right, so we're done counting, and as you can see, we have a lot of unhatched eggs. All of these are in piles of 10, except for this one here is a pile of 8. So we'll count how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 128 hatched eggs. Really
Wow.
good success. Really good.
That is very much high on the scale.
Yeah. So we'll add this to our data sheet for hatched eggs. 128. And we also look for things like damage to the unhatched eggs. We can sometimes determine if the damage is caused by crabs or by roots. And based off the way that these are damaged, it's difficult to tell. Usually the crabs will have like a little snip or cut in the eggshell using their claws. Or the roots, that's more obvious. You'll see it encased in roots usually, or growing through the eggshell, but I can't quite determine what caused the damage here. Maybe just pressure in the shells and everything. So I'm going to count all of these as whole or other damaged, and we have 7 here. And in this nest we had no live, no dead. Sometimes we do see that. But all of these hatchlings that emerged made it out, which is a really good sign. That's what we want to see. All right, so now we're done inventorying. We're just going to put everything back in the nest.
During the peak of the season, they'll do this multiple times in the morning and have to work late into the morning. They'll be out here at 9, sometimes even 10 o'clock digging nests. And get stinky and smelly and sweaty and sandy. So it's a hard job sometimes to do this, for sure. All right, we're going to move on to the next one.
Next one.
Stay tuned. We'll be releasing a turtle too.
Go grab this doom stake really fast and then we can release.
Okay.